So, Andre, still about that. Yeah, here in Europe, I'm living in Italy. So yeah, I can see the rise of people of Ukrainians coming to Europe. Well, you can see McDonald's changing from Indians to blonde girls,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
Uh, about the number of kills, that's very interesting because there's this outlet. It's Media Zona,
Yeah.
and it's a BBC, and
Yeah, there you go. So,
yeah, it has this counting, and perhaps in the West this is the best we can get about Russia. I don't think Russia actually puts out its numbers of losses, but taking data from people like you just mentioned about 2.5 million Ukrainian dead, and Stanislav that mentions that perhaps 10 to 1, it's a number to work with, and this Media Zona works with an average of 250 Russians killed in action.
well,
How
it's
do you,
1 to 4. It's not the case.
well, 2.5 million by
Ah,
10,
oh,
that
you
would
mean
be
10 what? 2.5 million, 10.
2.5 million Ukrainian deaths by 1 to 10 to Russians. That would be 250,000 Russians.
Oh, no, I mean, media zone, what do they give? I mean, if they are British, they will be giving all kinds of fantasy. And I'm basically stating it apart from the fact that I have my own sources with the better estimates. I'm quoting Colonel Douglas MacGregor, who was operating with the data from Pentagon already about 7 to 8 months ago, when he stated openly, Judge Napolitanos, that confirmed 2 million dead in Ukraine. So it was a long time ago. And so by now, again, what many people do not understand, if you take a look attentively at what is happening, and then tactical rear and operational rear, which probably we can define up to 700 kilometers in depth, and when you look attentively at essentially attacks on the what it's essentially assembly areas, all kinds of the dormitories and things like of this nature, and then you have constantly all those hospital medical aircraft flying from Rzeszów. They obviously transport NATO officers, Americans, British, German, and what have you. So we look at, so even Russian Defense Ministry, officially, if you take a look today at the data, it's about 1.7 plus million casualties on Ukrainian side, and this is only on the tactical. That means line of combat, what Russians can physically calculate and say, here's the core. And then again, just to give you example, if you see the drone which hits Ukrainian tank or Ukrainian artillery in the tactical area, let's say 20 to 30 kilometers in depth, Russians don't count it. But that's a lot of things which are happening in tactical rear. In fact, is the losses, considering the fact of the weight and sustainment of Russian long-range fires and standoff weaponry, is probably even higher than that on the tactical rear, because the pummeling of all those, and again, you kill yet another Patriot PAC-3, which happens now. They don't have them anymore, only in Kiev. How do you count that there? The Russians don't count them. They just say, okay, we destroyed this and that. Just technological thing. They don't count that the crew of, let's say, if you hit the control command post, of which happens all the time, of any kind of IRIS-T or SMPT or what have you, how many people in there? 8, maybe 12. Depending on the what configuration of the combat crew, which is in specific time there, you don't count them. Just like forget about it. So, and yes, the extrapolation is give and take 2.5 million KIAs.